Basically 50 times as much as they've already excavated is still under the ground. There's hundreds and hundreds of giant stone pillars that they've identified with ground penetrating radar.
While we might know Turkey as a tourist hub today, there was a time when ancient beings called it home, beings that we're struggling to explain to this day. From the temple with hidden secrets to a whole manuscript that no one can explain, these ancient mysteries will leave you questioning everything.
The carbon dating in all the area around Gobekli Tepe is somewhere around 12,000 years. Is that correct?
11,600.
1. Gobekli Tepe, the temple. Gobekli Tepe, located near Şanlıurfa in southeastern Turkey, is one of the oldest known temples in human history, dating back to around 10,000 to 8,000 BC, making it over 12,000 years old. This archaeological site has lots of large T-shaped limestone pillars, some standing over 16 feet tall and weighing up to 50 tons each. The site consists of several layers, with the oldest structures found in what is known as Layer 3. Excavations have revealed 4 main enclosures so far, each containing these monumental pillars, but surveys suggest that many more structures are still buried. But this temple isn't just random. There's a lot to it that you don't see at first. 2. The mysterious symbols. The Gobekli Tepe is full of animal symbols. They're all complex and carry significant meanings, reflecting the spiritual and cultural beliefs of its prehistoric builders. The site's T-shaped pillars have carvings of animals like boars, snakes, and foxes, which are thought to hold totemic significance. Each enclosure at Gobekli Tepe features a dominant animal, suggesting that these creatures represented specific groups or clans. These animals may have served as guardians or spiritual guides, embodying protective qualities and the power of the natural world. The symbols also imply a connection to shamanistic practices, where animals acted as intermediaries between the human and spiritual realms. Birds and insects depicted on the pillars, like cranes, may symbolize spiritual ascension or transformation. 3. The people of Gobekli. The people of Gobekli Tepe were nomadic hunter-gatherers from the pre-pottery Neolithic period. They primarily relied on hunting. Numerous wild animal bones, especially gazelles, were found all around the site. Rather than living permanently at the site, these people likely used Gobekli Tepe as a ceremonial center, gathering there periodically for rituals or pilgrimages, but they were also living there, at least for several months of the year. The site's monumental structures suggest they had developed social structures capable of organizing large communal gatherings, despite their nomadic lifestyle. So these people knew what they were doing. Excavations have revealed lots of different tools too, indicating sophisticated daily activities, including food processing. They really believed in the animals they lived around, and while they were hunted and eaten, they were given a lot of importance by these people too. 4. More than just a site. Evidence shows that while the site was used for day-to-day activities, there is a chance that there were cultist activities in the area too. The modifications in the skulls mean that there had been a unique treatment of human remains, previously undocumented for this period. The lack of primary burials at Gobekli Tepe, combined with the presence of these altered skulls, suggests that specific individuals received special post-mortem treatment. It's believed that the skulls were displayed at designated points around the site. That could have been to solidify how important these people were for the area, or maybe they did something that warranted that as punishment. The modified skulls were discovered in the fill of buildings and surrounding areas, suggesting they were part of the site's ritual activities, but it's also possible that they were brought to the area by the people, unless people weren't the only ones in the area. 5. Other beings. When you look at Gobekli Tepe as a whole, things just don't add up. How could humans of that time be so advanced in the way they made the whole site? A lot of people seem to think that the answer to that is that extraterrestrials played a role in its construction. Proponents of these theories argue that the site's monumental scale and intricate carvings are way too advanced for the hunter-gatherer societies of the time, suggesting that such achievements could only have been possible with outside help. Some believe that Gobekli Tepe was built by survivors of a lost civilization, potentially helped by aliens because of the site's sophisticated architecture, which seems to defy the known capabilities of early humans. These people would have been wiped out by a cataclysmic event, and that's why their kind did not go on. If it did, humans today might have looked very different, along without the world. But this is not the only place that is believed to have been helped by aliens. There's a lot more where that came from. 6. The Shady Pyramids. Everyone has at least seen a photo of the Great Pyramids of Giza. What makes them great is their sheer size and build. They were built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2580–2560 BCE, originally reaching about 481 feet in height. There are approximately 2.3 million stone blocks throughout the whole site, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. That type of construction couldn't possibly have been done by just people alone. They would have needed help. Archaeologists argue that the pyramids were built through skilled labor, simple tools, and innovative engineering. The most widely accepted theory involves a system of ramps, sledges, and levers to transport and position the massive stones. 7. The Valley of the Kings. The Valley of the Kings, on the west bank of the Nile near Luxor, is an ancient burial site with over 60 tombs, including the renowned tomb of Tutankhamun. Discovered by Howard Carter in 1922, this used to be a totally secret location where the richest families were buried. This valley was chosen for its remote location, offering protection from tomb robbers. The tombs here are all different designs and sizes, but they all feature intricate carvings and paintings. These artworks depict scenes from Egyptian mythology and include texts designed to aid the deceased in their journey to the afterlife. Texts like the Book of the Dead and the Book of Gates are inscribed on the walls, outlining the soul's journey through the underworld. But there was clearly more to this place, things that the land wanted to keep hidden. 8. The Curse of the Valley. The finding of the tomb of Tutankhamun shook the world, and it generated a lot of media frenzy. People all over the world started asking questions, and Dr. Howard and his team became famous. But all that fame and fortune came with a curse. Slowly, one after the other, the people in Dr. Howard's team mysteriously passed away. The ways they went were all weird too, almost unexplainable, but some believe that it was all because the tomb was never meant to be opened. That's why it was hidden away the way it was, but they opened it anyway and suffered the consequences. 9. Lost City of the Incas. Machu Picchu, often dubbed the Lost City of the Incas, is a breathtaking ancient site perched high in the Andes Mountains of Peru. Its remote location, right in between steep, forested peaks and overlooking the Urubamba River, makes the site even more interesting. You think you're just in the middle of mountains, with nothing for miles, and suddenly, this pops up. Discovered by Hiram Bingham in 1911, this UNESCO World Heritage Site features stunningly preserved stone structures, including temples, terraces, and residential buildings. But one thing it doesn't have is people. 10. The site is very specific. The Incas had a lot of information about astronomy, and Machu Picchu reflects this knowledge. The site features various structures aligned with astronomical events. For instance, the Intihuatana stone, often referred to as a ritual stone or hitching post of the sun, is believed to be an astronomical tool used for tracking celestial movements. The site's alignment with the solstices and other celestial phenomena suggests that it may have played a role in Incan astronomical and calendrical systems. These were intelligent people, and we've been able to learn a lot about science from them. But despite all of that, this ancient site they built was left empty. 11. How was it found? After the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire in the 16th century, many Incan sites were abandoned. The Spanish did not discover Machu Picchu, but the site was largely deserted as the Inca elite fled or were displaced, and the once thriving settlement was completely empty. Its remote location in the Andes helped to preserve it from looting and destruction, but also contributed to its abandonment. The dense forest concealed the site, making it difficult to access and less visible to potential settlers or explorers. But the people who lived there completely disappeared. Hiram Bingham rediscovered it in 1911, and that's when the site was excavated. 12. The remains of those who lived here. While there have been lots of artifacts found in Machu Picchu, there are no living people that have ever actually stayed on the grounds, nor do they have any first-hand stories about the place either. A lot of sites like this have been abandoned to the point that no human remains have even been found in the area, like Gobekli Tepe, but this one's not like that. At this site, nearly 200 remains and burial sites were found. Almost all of them were in shallow graves, with massive stones on top of them in the burial chambers. Some of the burials contain mummified remains. There were also signs of burial of high-status individuals or those with special roles in Inca society. So while they might be gone and forgotten now, back when the area was occupied, it was one of the most popular ones. 13. El Castillo. The Pyramid of Kukulkan, also known as El Castillo, is located in Chichen Itza, a major archaeological site in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. The pyramid measures approximately 98 feet high, with each side of the base spanning about 180 feet. This thing is massive. Each of the 4 sides features a staircase with 91 steps, adding up to a total of 364 steps. When combined with the platform at the top, the total count of steps equals 365, reflecting the solar year. Its construction dates back to around 1200 CE, so the fact that they were able to comprehend something the modern world uses even today is shocking. 14. They loved playing games. Chichen Itza is one of the largest and most well-preserved ball courts from the Maya civilization. This impressive structure was used for the Mesoamerican ball game, a sport with deep, ritualistic significance. Unlike modern sports, the ball game was intertwined with Maya cosmology and religious practices. The court features 2 parallel walls with stone rings set high up, through which players aim to pass a rubber ball using their hips, knees, and elbows. The outcomes of the games might have had serious consequences. There is evidence to suggest that the losing team or selected individuals might have been sacrificed as part of the ritual. Speaking of which, this was apparently a pretty big thing at the time. 15. There was a dark side to it too. Chichen Itza's cenote, or sacred cenote, was a central site for Maya ritualistic practices. Archaeological evidence shows that it was used for human sacrifices aimed at appeasing gods or seeking the divine favor. The remains of individuals are found in the cenote, often accompanied by valuable offerings like jade, gold, and pottery. The cenote was considered a sacred gateway to the underworld, making it a significant location for these rituals. Remains of at least 50 to 60 people have been found here, and that's just what researchers have found until now. As time goes on, they end up finding more people, more offerings, and with it, more information about how these people really lived and died here. 16. Easter Island. Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, is known for its mysterious Moai statues, massive stone heads that have confused historians and archaeologists for decades. These statues, some weighing up to 75 tons and standing up to 33 feet tall, were carved from volcanic tuff and placed on stone platforms called ahu. They are believed to have been built by hand to represent ancestral figures or deities, serving as symbols of power and status for the island's inhabitants. But that seems a little hard to do. One of the most intriguing theories is that the Moai were walked into place using a coordinated movement technique. Research and experiments have shown that the statues could be moved using a combination of ropes and coordinated effort, so that might be possible. But that's where the question comes up. Why? 17. Spirits. Realized. The Moai are believed to represent the spirits of deceased ancestors. They were intended to honor and venerate these figures, with the belief that they held spiritual power and could intercede with the gods on behalf of the living. The statues were placed on an ahu, which served as sacred sites for rituals and ceremonies. The statues were strategically placed facing inland, overlooking the villages and fields. 18. Derinkuyu Underground City. Derinkuyu Underground City is one of the most unbelievable locations on Earth. In the Cappadocia region of Turkey, this is a multi-level subterranean complex. It extends up to 280 feet deep and could accommodate thousands of people. The city includes living quarters, storage rooms, wells, and even a church, all intricately carved into the volcanic rock. Its size and structure suggest it was built primarily for protection against external threats like invasions or raids, along with any other threat that might hit the region. Because of Turkey's location, that happened a lot, but whenever it did, they were safe from the trouble. The ability to house a large population underground would have provided a significant defensive advantage, allowing inhabitants to retreat to safety in times of danger. 19. Made and lost, only to be found again. These intricate tunnels used to be a well-kept secret, so no one knows exactly when they were built or who sanctioned them to be made. It's believed that locals in the area just realized that they'll always be in danger unless they figure out a better plan and just go with it. The tunnels date back to at least the Byzantine era, which was from approximately 330 AD to 1453 AD. While they were heavily used back in the day, at some point, people stopped using them, and the locals who knew about them moved on. It wasn't until 1963 that its secrets were revealed to the broader world. During renovations, a homeowner accidentally uncovered a hidden passage leading to the rediscovery. 20. Stonehenge. Stonehenge is located on the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England, approximately 8 miles north of the city of Salisbury, and stands as one of the most mysterious ancient structures ever found. Stonehenge is composed of a circular arrangement of massive stones. Originally, there were 30 upright stones in the outer circle, and 13 of these stones remain standing today. The stones are known as sarsen stones and weigh between 25 and 50 tons each. The outer stone circle has a diameter of about 330 feet. Inside this circle is a horseshoe-shaped arrangement of smaller stones called bluestones, which were transported from Wales, approximately 150 miles away. But that's one of the biggest questions about this site. How did ancient people between 3000 BCE and 1600 BCE manage to get these massive stones from so far away? 21. The meaning of Stonehenge. Some archaeologists have gone on to explain how the stones could have gotten there. Wooden rollers and sledges are among the top explanations, but that's just the stones. The other reason is still there. Why did they choose this particular location? Well, it's supposed to be special. The most compelling evidence for Stonehenge's astronomical function is its alignment with the solstices. The monument is precisely aligned with the summer solstice's sunrise and the winter solstice sunset. On the summer solstice, the sun rises directly over the heel stone, a large upright stone located outside the main circle. This alignment suggests that Stonehenge was used to mark the changing seasons, which would have been crucial for agricultural societies. There are also indications that Stonehenge may have been used to track lunar cycles. The Aubrey holes, a ring of 56 pits surrounding the central stones, might have been used to observe the moon's orbit and calculate eclipses. This was no ordinary site. It was teaching them the ways of the world. 22. More than just stones. Excavations around Stonehenge have uncovered artifacts like pottery, animal bones, and other remnants associated with feasting and ceremonial activities. It's very possible that Stonehenge was a site of significant social and ritual gatherings. 23. The Terracotta Army. The Terracotta Army, discovered in 1974 near Xi'an, China, is one of the craziest archaeological finds from the reign of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. This vast burial complex contains over 8,000 life-sized clay soldiers, 670 horses, and 130 chariots arranged in battle formation within 3 main pits. The figures, crafted to accompany the emperor into the afterlife, each have unique features, from distinct facial expressions to individual hairstyles and armor. Originally painted in vibrant colors, much of the paint has faded over time. 24. The Rosetta Stone. This particular stone, discovered in 1799 by French soldiers near the town of Rosetta in Egypt, is a crucial artifact in the study of ancient Egyptian civilization. This inscribed granite slab, dating to 196 BCE, has the same decree written in 3 scripts: Greek, Demotic, and Egyptian hieroglyphs. The stone's bilingual inscriptions were pivotal in deciphering the hieroglyphic scripts that were, until then, impossible to understand. The Greek text, which was well understood, provided the key to translating the hieroglyphs, which had been a mystery for centuries. 25. Stone spheres in Costa Rica. These stone spheres are a fascinating mystery from the pre-Columbian era that has had researchers confused for decades. Discovered mainly in the Diquís Delta and Isla del Caño, these spheres were made between 500 and 1500 AD. They range from small to over 8 feet in diameter and are incredibly well crafted from basalt. 26. Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines are a set of giant geoglyphs etched into the desert floor of southern Peru, dating from around 200 BCE to 600 CE. These designs cover an area of about 500 square kilometers and include various shapes like animals, plants, and geometric patterns. The most famous figures are the hummingbird, monkey, spider, and condor. One look at them from the air and you'll be able to make out their shapes instantly. The purpose of the Nazca Lines remains a subject of debate. Some theories suggest they were created for astronomical or calendar purposes, with certain lines aligning with celestial events. Others believe they had ritual significance, possibly related to water, which was crucial in the arid region where they were created. What's crazy is that no one actually knows who made these, how, and the most important of them all, why. Somehow, despite all those questions, the Nazca lines have survived through time and look the exact same as they always have. 27. The Voynich Manuscript. The Voynich Manuscript is a mysterious book that has baffled scholars for over a century. Discovered in 1912 by rare book dealer Wilfrid Voynich, the manuscript is written entirely in an unknown script that no one has been able to decipher. In it are elaborate illustrations, including bizarre botanical drawings of plants that don't match up with any known species, as well as unusual astronomical diagrams and mysterious human figures. Carbon dating places its creation between 1404 and 1438, but its origins and purpose haven't really been found. Despite numerous attempts by cryptographers, linguists, and historians, the manuscript's content and language are still just questions for the world, unless it's about a different variation of our world, one that we haven't been able to tap into yet. What do you think? Can you explain any of the mysterious finds in this video?